Hey, this is Matt once again, and man, this is a breath of fresh air. After the last couple films I've seen of the Dolph Lundgren marathon, like One in the Chamber, which I thought was rather lame, or Stash House, which was so fucking boring and terrible waste of Dolph. This one, Dolph is not in it too much, but at least the little bits of Dolph, he does kick some ass as the villain. And it's a pretty decent, fun, entertaining action film. And that is the package. Definitely more of Stone Cold Steve Austin's movie. This is definitely one of Steve Austin's better films. Now, right off the bat, I like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I liked him in wrestling. I was a big fan of him in his time in the Attitude Era of the WWF. He made a couple films. I liked him in The Expendables, which he had some scenes with Dolph. I liked, what was that movie called? Hunt to Kill. Thought that was a pretty decent direct-to-video film that Steve Austin did. Let's see. He also did one with Michael Jai White called Tactical Force, which I thought was pretty decent. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I disagree. I would say Hunt to Kill, Tactical Force, and this one are the better Steve Austin direct-to-video flicks. The ones I don't like would be The Condemned. I thought that was lame. Horrible shaky cam. Just a crappy version of The Running Man or various other movies of that ilk. The Condemned I fucking hated. The Stranger was really fucking boring. I can't remember any of his other ones. I don't think he did too many of them. Oh, he did one with Steven Seagal, which I reviewed that where I reviewed all the Seagal films, including all of his direct-to-video films. They're on the channel. You can either find them or I have a playlist of my Seagal reviews, just like my Van Damme reviews, Stallone reviews, etc. But Maximum, was it Force? Maximum Impact? I forget what the hell it was called now. It was Seagal and Steve Austin. It was a prison. It was okay watch compared to other ones because Steve Austin was pretty decent in it, but wasn't great. I would put that above that one, which I already forgot what the fuck the name of that movie was. But the package, I didn't realize it was directed by this guy named Jesse V. Johnson. I'm like, why the hell does that name sound familiar? And I want to make double sure of it, but he's the guy, I believe, who directed Accident Man with Scott Adkins, which I reviewed last year, and I thought was pretty decent. Accident Man with Scott Adkins had some really good fight scenes, especially there's a fight scene between Ray Park, Michael Jai White, and they're teaming up on Scott Adkins. Like some really good fight scenes in that movie. And he also did The Debt Collector, which is a new Scott Adkins film, which I will definitely check out sometime. And he's doing that new one, Triple Threat, with Tony Jaa and the guy from The Raid, Iko Uwais. That one I really look forward to. So this is a director, I guess he was a stuntman and stunt coordinator. I definitely look forward to more of his work. Because based on Accident Man and this, and what I've seen trailer-wise from The Debt Collector and Triple Threat, he seems like one of the better direct-to-video action directors. And this one, it's a pretty straightforward story. Steve Austin is an enforcer, pretty much. If you need to pay the money back that you borrow or whatever, he's going to give you a little bit of persuasion. I mean, at the beginning, there's a bowling alley where our first scene takes place where this guy's supposed to pay money back, and Steve Austin's like, hey. And we definitely know Steve Austin's a badass because like an asshole guy whistles at him, and Austin just slams the guy's head through a fucking table and fucks these other guys up. And then the guy tries to escape. He's like, hey man, threatens the guy by putting his head by where the bowling balls come out and scares the shit out of him. Eventually does let one hit the guy and pretty much bust the guy's nose. And the reason he's an enforcer because his brother, played by Lachlan Monroe, which he's been in another film that featured Dolph Lundgren, In the Name of the Team too. He played the team in that. Here he's Steve Austin's brother who's in prison. And he had a debt with this one guy, and Steve Austin is working for this guy's enforcer to pay back his brother's debt. Which again, his brother's in prison. And pretty much this is one last job. He's supposed to deliver this package to the German, which is a character played by Dolph Lundgren. And we also get a nice introduction to Dolph Lundgren's character where he's having a meeting with this guy, and the guy goes back into the kitchen of this place, and there's a bunch of bad guys there, and he pretty much tells them, get Dolph, get his ass, shoot him, kill him. And Dolph kicks some ass in that scene. He uses a guy as a shield, fucking blood squibs. He shoots the shit out of them. He kills some with a knife. He even kills some. He gets a gun, looks like a Tommy gun, just fucking shoots some. Kills everyone until there's that one last asshole left who did a two-faced on him, tried to fuck him over, and Dolph like breaks through the wall as if he was Michael Myers, or breaks through with his arms, grabs the guy, pushes his head back, and then he fucking stabs the guy. Well, okay, this is a guy not to mess with. You know, the German, he's a badass motherfucker. And I will say, like, the movie goes at a pretty fast pace. The action scenes are handled effectively enough. It's not shaky cam to the point of it's confusing or discombobulated. This guy seems to know how to handle actions in a fairly decent manner. And again, the movie moves at a good enough pace. I'm trying to remember what the running time was. 95 minutes. Hour and 35 minutes. So it's not too long of a flick. And Steve Austin's on his way to deliver this package with a buddy of his, and his friend gets shot in the face and the car crashes. These guys try to go in. Steve Austin goes in the store, and you get some more fun action set pieces. Gets in fights with some guys. Fucks one guy up. I forget what he hit him with. Yeah, I forgot what it was. It was like the butt of a knife or something. I can't remember. And then this one asshole bad guy comes out with a huge machine gun and is shooting the shit out of the store. And granted, there's a part of me going, well, wait a minute. He doesn't know his other buddies are dead. What if they were alive and were doing well and the guy unleashes the gun on the store? Wouldn't he possibly accidentally kill his own buddies, his own men, his own fellow cohorts? It's like he only doing that because he knows what the movie knows, that Steve Austin is the one standing right now. So I thought that was a weird decision on the one guy's part. But it does create some really nice slow motion of Austin running away through the store as all this stuff gets blasted behind him. And he's avoiding the gunfire. I thought that was a nicely shot sequence. But yeah, my brain thinking, well, how the fuck does this guy know his other buddies are on the ground, dead or knocked out? But he doesn't, but whatever. And one of them, Steve Austin killed. Actually, two of them he killed. The other guy, he gets out, yells at the guy for firing in the store, like you should. And they leave. Oh, another actor who I recognize, William B. Davis, the cigarette smoking man from the X-Files, he's in this movie as a doctor who is working with Dolph. So it's like, oh shit, it's cool to see the cigarette smoking man and amidst all this. Austin gets a ride to Vancouver, BC. He fights one guy in the rain, which I thought was a decently choreographed scene. Definitely gives the guy an ass beating. And like I said, the fight scenes, action scenes are handled well enough for a direct-to-video flick. I mean, Steve Austin is not the most agile, so you don't get more of a brawler type of fight, but it still works well. One thing weird about this scene, maybe my eyes were playing with me, but I swear that it's supposed to be raining, but then it seems as if our actors aren't really getting that wet at times. Because when it's raining, being drenched, you're going to be soaked to the point your clothes are just fucking weighing you down and just, you know. But it's like, it's raining. It's not like they're under something that's blocking the rain, because you see like the rain everywhere of mist. Almost as if, did they add that effect later of rain, but they're not really getting wet? Am my eyes playing and tricking my ass? If you see that scene, you let me know. Please do. Maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me. I mean, I do have these glasses. So I thought that was kind of weird. But other than that, I didn't mind the scene. But, you know, he gets knocked down, captured, gets tied up. Steve Austin, he does a good job in the role. I thought he was a badass in the movie, kind of like he was in Hunt to Kill or Tactical Force. He has some fun lines in this flick. I never really understood why in none of his movies he ever did the Stone Cold Steve Austin persona. You know, that, oh, come on, motherfucker. You know, that sort of, you want me, come on, give me that sort of energetic, angry, pissed off, yelling manner. He's always very serious, very quiet, talking very low. Maybe it was one of those things he was told that, you know, on film he has to be that way, but on in a wrestling ring he has to project himself because he's talking to thousands in an arena. But someone, you know, he should try it once. Just be that type of character in a movie one time at least. That would have been nice. And see how it works. I think it will work very well. But I know that's just not just me, because I've heard other people say that. But whatever. He still does a good job in this movie. Because he kills this guy as he's tied up by headbutting him. And one headbutt kills the guy. Kind of remind me of The Last Boy Scout when Bruce Willis did that and killed him in one hit. In this case, Steve Austin headbutts the guy, kills him one hit, and then goes like, yeah, sucks to be him. Also, he fucks with a girl who's a villain, and her fiance is one of the guys Steve Austin had killed earlier in that store. And Steve Austin is fucking with her, going, your fiance died like a bitch. And she's like, oh, is that supposed to make me mad? No. Just wanted to tell your fiance died like a bitch. And he pisses the lady off enough. I thought that was a fun thing. And he has some nice bits of violence. Like, Steve Austin gets the gun and literally just guns that bitch down. Which you don't see a lot, you know, of a woman getting gunned down like that by your lead. But I actually appreciate that. I like that little bit of extra touch. Sometimes it's little things you enjoy these movies when you see enough of them like I do. And he has another decent fight with this other guy. I like how he does the thing where he drops this like hammer and like the top of it, he shoves it up right on the guy, really hard. Boom! Blood spurts and fucks the guy up. Like, it was a different way of using hammer. Like, we've seen hammer done this way, but not many times where I've seen go from the bottom using the top of it going and hammer a guy down to up. I don't. It's a weird way of explaining it, but I thought that was kind of a nice touch. And pretty much one thing leads to another. He's at Dolph Lundgren's place. William B. Davis, the doctor's there. The cigarette smoking man's there. And you find out that the package is not the actual package. Steve Austin himself was the package because Dolph needs this specific blood that Austin has. So they're going to siphon out Austin's blood for Dolph's character. And I did enjoy this piece where Steve Austin, he's pretending to be weak, so the doctor gets closer, but then he comes up and bites the doctor's neck, and then throws the scalpel into another guy's face. I thought that was satisfying. There's a moment where he gets these 2 machine guns and fucking fires, kills one guy with it. Again, some decent, satisfying moments of action in this flick. He's in the fight with Dolph. That's the weakest part of the movie, sad to say, is the fight with Dolph. It's pretty meh. I mean, these two guys should have had a better fight. I mean, we've seen Dolph be a badass. Just like there was another moment where some of the scenes with Dolph, this is one guy who Dolph's making stuff in a blender while this guy's tied up and bleeding, and after that we see a security footage of Dolph like fucking these guys up, and you get a little bit of intense acting from Dolph saying, "You don't tell me what I want to know, or I want to see your family with a blowtorch." And then when the guy tells him, Dolph just kills him. And again, you get the notion that Dolph is a badass motherfucker, but you do wish that the fight scene, there could have been more to it. There's a couple punches, couple flips, and I don't know if they ran out of time for that fight, or it's because character-wise Dolph is a bit sick at this time, his character. I don't know, the fight could have been longer. It felt too short. And some of the blocking seemed weird. If I didn't know any better, it seemed as if there were doubles in parts of this fight. I could absolutely be wrong on that. There's no making of material or anything of that sort, but I swear, if you ever see it, it looked like maybe there's doubles or something about the blocking of it, or I don't know, just something felt off. And I will say that's the weakest part of the film, sad to say. If that was a lot longer, a lot stronger, better, I don't know, better choreographed or blocked or just a longer fight, this would have gone up a few more notches for me. But as it is, it's still a very decent direct-to-video action film. Steve Austin does a good job. Dolph, for the little bits he has, he's fine and intense. I like the little bits of action Dolph has. The action scenes in general, except for the final fight, but the other ones are handled very competently, efficiently, for the low budget it has. Steve Austin has a few good lines of dialogue, some nice moments of violence. Again, when Steve Austin gets these 2 guns and we'll like to have used those a bit more in the movie. It was nice to have them in there. The scene where he pisses off this lady, that was a fun sequence. Like I said, entertaining direct-to-video film. If you like Steve Austin, it's more his film than Dolph. So I would say, if you're a Dolph completionist, sure, you'll give it a watch. And he does a good job. He's not in the film too much of the running time. I keep repeating and want to stress this is more of Steve Austin's film. But with that said, still pretty decent direct-to-video film. And like I said at the beginning, a breath of fresh air compared to One in the Chamber or Stash House. Like, compared to One in the Chamber, Steve Austin you definitely buy compared to Cuba Gooding Jr. You definitely buy Steve Austin. And I thought the action scenes here were handled, again, aside from the last fight, the other ones handled much more satisfying than One in the Chamber. But again, that's just my thoughts on it. But either way, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.